Hello, this is your 10.12 tutorial. To begin, we'll start with the A, New, and then you'll load your McFatter template files. Your folder location may vary. Mine is in my documents, McFatter template. We're going to use the McFatter ACAD template this time. Open. To make the video look better, I'm going to turn off the grid. I'm also going to insert the lesson that we're working on. You do not have to do this. So we'll be working on this piece. Before we get started, let's make sure we save our work. I'm going to hit save, and because we haven't named it, it automatically comes up as save as. Make sure to put your work in a folder of your choosing. I choose to put it in a chapter 10 folder. And the file is going to be called 10.12. And now it says it here. So you know that you have a way to recover your file if you have a power outage or anything of that nature. So for this drawing, we're only going to need two views, a front view and a side view. The overall piece size, looks like there's a line missing right here, is 8 overall. And then a height from here to here will be determined by the radius. So from here, let's go ahead and draw the front view. Start a line at 8. Then we have a tolerance given here. We're going to use the maximum size at 1.5. Then we'll go another 8. And I'll close by hitting the endpoint. Now we need to add an angle. We're going to offset the edge 0.30 or 0.3. So use the offset command. 0.3, enter. Now I'm going to take care of the right side, moving it to the left. And I'm going to use the left side and move it into the right. These are same on both sides. Right click, enter. Then I'm going to start a line command and draw it from this endpoint. Move the mouse across, then move the mouse down. You'll notice that I have 90 degrees for my angle right now. The distance down, just make sure you go past the piece. Doesn't matter how far you go. We're then going to hit tab, and we'll type in the angle. The angle says 15 degrees. Yep. 15 degrees. So we'll type in 15. 1, 5, enter. And so that's the angle now set. I'm going to go ahead and mirror this to all four corners. The first mirror I'm going to do, I'm going to select the object, right click, go to the midpoint in the middle of the object and go straight down. Select, enter. I can hit enter because the default was set to no when it was asking me to erase source objects. Then I'm going to select both the top left and right side of those lines. And I'm going to use mirror again. This time I'm going to use the middle of the right side. Select it, move to the left. And I'll select anywhere where I don't hit a snap point. And it's asking me if I want to erase the source object. I'm going to hit no, enter. Now I'll use the trim command. Selecting these two lines and these two lines. Front end, or the right side and the left side. Right click. Now I can cut away at the extension lines. And I can cut off the little triangles here and here. Cut these extension lines. And then select these pieces of the triangles. Right click, enter. Now I already have the majority of the shape already done. From the midpoint, going to my right, I have a distance of 0.9065. So I'm going to start a line command from here, going in that general direction. And I'll type in that distance, 0.9065. 0.9065. Hit the enter key. Then from here to there, I have a distance of 6.187. So I'm going to continue that line. 6.187. Enter. Right click, enter. Now I have a line from here to there, a line from here to here. I'm going to make these two lines center lines so I don't forget that they're going to help me with my circles that I have here. The circles located here are a 0.141 through hole on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and draw one of those circles with a diameter tool. Move my mouse across until I get to the end point of the line that I drew. And then type in my diameter of 0.141. Enter. Then I'll select that hole. I'll use the copy command. And I will place it at the end of that line. So now both of my holes are in. I can now erase the center line for now. And that is pretty much the front view complete. Now from here, this is going to be very easy. I'm going to take a line from the midpoint here and go across. Doesn't matter the actual distance. It doesn't how far you want your side view to be. And then I'm going to project line work from the top across. and from the very tippy top across. So I now have lines going across here. I'll go ahead and use the circle command with the radius tool. Pick the endpoint of the middle line and go up, and I'll select the perpendicular. Right-click, repeat circle. Start at the center again, and click the perpendicular above that. And now both of the circles are now drawn. I'll take these projection lines and get rid of them for now. I'm going to change my layer. Let's change all the layers right now because I think they're all in layer 0. I'm going to highlight the whole thing and change it to object. For these are all object lines right now. Now I'm going to take my line type and change it to hidden. And I'm going to draw lines from the quadrant going across this piece here. And then I'm going to repeat the line and go from the quadrant here and go across this way. Then I'll use the trim command. Selecting the outside circle as a cutting plane, and I'll cut away at those hidden lines, leaving the hidden line for the cylinder. Next thing I need to do is put my center mark in. Let me go ahead and change this to center. And since I'm going to use the center mark for the main circle on the outside, I don't have to worry about the center line going through here. So let me go ahead and annotate center mark and click the larger circle, and it puts my center lines in. I can also put center lines in for this one and this one here. And then I'll go to home and draw some more line work, connecting those center lines across here. And I'll bring a center line out across here. Just a little bit out to get that nice pop. And I'll repeat the same thing going from here out to get a nice pop. So now I have the center line going through the cylinder. Let's go ahead and save all this work we've done so far. All right, now we're good to go ahead and look at our sheets and see what would fit on. This is an A-size sheet in 1/2 by 11. If we go to 1:1 scale, it won't fit. We could potentially go to 1:2 scale to make it fit. Or we could take a look at 11 by 17. Click inside the viewport. And our scale is at 1:1. Let's make sure. And that looks like that fit. So we can go ahead and do this at 1:1 scale. Or we can do this at a 1/2 scale on an A-size sheet. I'm going to use the 11 by 17. I'm going to take this sketch right here. I'm going to move it a little bit closer to the other drawing, not too much, just so I have a little bit more room to work in here. So there's my drawing. Click on the outside. Let's go to the model space, and I can start putting my dimensions in. You notice there's a lot of dimension work in here. So for my front view, I got a majority of the dimensions are here. So let's go ahead and place those dimensions in. Change to ANO. Linear dimension, and dimension my overall from end to end. Coming across here. Then I'm going to repeat my linear dimension from center of the circle to the center of the circle. And put that dimension in. Then I'm going to repeat linear dimension. And on that node to that node there. And go ahead and place it, lining it up with the arrow of the other dimension. I do have to modify this text. Also notice that the units are not right for this dimension. So I'm going to click on it, right click, properties. Let's change the precision under primary units, precision to 4 places. We'll close that out. Hit the escape key. Now we'll double click twice on the text. At the very front, we're going to add 2, oops, I didn't select. Let's undo that. Escape. Cancel. Let's undo. Double click twice on the text. I get the text box. Once I get the line, I can then type in 2x. Let's make it a capital. Space. Click away from that. So that dimension is in place. It's the escape key. All right. Now, what you'll notice is a series of dimensions that we didn't use for line work. These dimensions here are specified in the notes. Oh, I got an extra line in there. Take that out of there. Shift and delete. Do I have an extra one in there? No. Okay, that was weird. Okay. Well, this was I was explaining. The dimension from here to there is not dimensioning the circle. Those dimensions were given here, and they're working with the center lines. And when you're working with circles, it's very important to always dimension to your center lines. Okay, especially on an auxiliary view, which you'll be covering later. So from here, you'll see a series of dimensions going across this drawing. There's a detail here, mark 3 mark, is telling the surface finish of the end. And then on the 4, those sections are going to have a surface finish of 36 microns. Inch in area indicated. So there's going to be like a knurling that is cut into this piece that gives this piece a little bit of a grip, a different type of surface finish. We don't have to detail draw that for this drawing. It's just to let the person who is manufacturing this piece know what type of surface finish to add to this. Okay, so we're going to just put some false dimensions in here. Even though they are true, they just aren't dimensioning to anything. So I'm going to do a linear dimension. It's very important that I'm doing linear. Place on the end and go across, making sure I'm have ortho on, and I'm pointing to my left. I'm going to type in the distance. The first distance is 1.59. 1.59. Enter. And that puts in a dimension. I'll select that dimension and place it. Now I'll repeat linear dimension, doing it at the node, and I'm going to continue it across again to the left and do the next dimension, which is 1.38. Then I want it to line up with that arrow, so I'm going to click the arrow, make sure it lines up nice and neat. Do another linear dimension from this node going across to my left at 2.06. And I'll make sure I line that arrow up again. Then I'm going to right-click Repeat my linear dimension, grab the node again, coming across to my left, and I'm going to type in 1.38. Then make sure I line that up with that arrow there. And then I have my dimensions here. For the 4s and the 3, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to draw a little triangle. Sizes can vary. Or you know what, let's do the text first so we can see what the size would be best. So I'm going to use multi-line text and just place a little text block and type in 4. So now this 4 needs to be with a triangle. So I'm going to do a line approximately in the middle of the 4. And then I'm going to draw a line coming from the midpoint, going straight up. And I'm going to go ahead and close that in. Making that little box, or a triangle. And I'll delete the center line. And there it is. I have now an equal triangle inside with my 4 inside of it. Go ahead and move that down just a little bit. If you feel that it's a little bit too tight, you can always move it or redraw your triangle. Why am I not moving? Move. Select objects. I'm going to select the triangle. And move it up. Just a hair. Take a look at that. Make sure it's easy to read. All right, looking good. You know, I'm not 100% happy with it. I'm going to take it out. You got to be happy with these things. And draw a little bigger. This might be a little big. Center this a little bit. There we go. Then go up and close it off again. Get rid of that line. That looks a lot clearer. All right, that triangle is supposed to go under the 38 and under the other 38. So I'm going to move it to its designated spot. To here. I'm going to copy it and move it to here. I'm going to also need one. Let me do a copy for the 3. Which I'll display with a leader. Coming across, I'm going to need ortho off. I'm going to have it point right at the, what is 4 right now. And so it's the extension along. I'm going to move that over a bit. Make sure I turn ortho back on. And double click inside that 4. And I'm going to backspace and change it to 3. So now I have my 3 triangle and my 4 triangles. All right, got those dimensions in, everything from the front. I need the angle and the dimension for the angle. So I'm going to go from here to here. That's getting a little crowded, so I'm going to go the opposite way. Here to here. And I might as well line it up, make it look nice. And then I'll put the angle in. Angular dimension from here to here, and pull it across like this. That puts in my 15 degrees. Now I need this everything from the front view. I need the hole. Let's go ahead and put that dimension for the hole here. Diameter. I'm going to put it here. Double click on the text twice. To X space. Use the arrow key once to go past the text. Hit space. And then through T H R U. All right. Enter. Oh, I got backspace that. Just click away from it, and it adjusts. The escape key. So now that's dimensioned. That's dimensioned. That's dimensioned. That's not dimensioned. We get that in. We got all the rest of the dimensions going there. So now we're going to get the diameter of the circle. I'm going to place that here. Now, it's important for here. Notice that it's 4 places. So I want to make sure that's 4 places as well. Any other ones 4 places? Nope, I got 2's down here, which are going to make all those 2's. Let's go ahead and do that. Select all these dimensions. Any other 2's? The 30, that's a 2. That's good. The 8 is also a 2. Okay, right click, properties. Let's go to our primary units, precision. Change that to 2 decimal places. I'll exit that, hit the escape key. So now all those are set to 2 decimal places. The angle should have no decimal places. Let's change that. Primary units, angle precision, 0. All right, looking good. Next, we need to click the circle here, and we want to change that under lines and arrows. Let's make sure we don't have the extra center line, so we'll put that to none. We also will go through here to primary units and change it to 4 decimal places. All right, looking good. Now what we want to do is double click on this text. We're going to go ahead and hit the arrow key, hit the enter key, and then type in .4985, and that's the tolerance for the piece. Click away from that. So now we have our tolerance here visible. Let's go ahead and escape that. Let's exit the properties. And with that, we should be good to go. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Yes, we need the text. So we need to explain what these things are. So I'm going to copy and move a copy of this down here. And I'm going to take a copy of the 3. Oops, I missed a piece. And then I'll move it over to here. Then I could add my notes. Multi-line text. Draw a box across here. Okay, and we'll type in M-A-R-K space W-I-T-H 1196975. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. Enter again, give a little bit of space. Maybe I'll go enter one more time, just so I have enough space between those two pieces. Let me then go ahead and type in S-U-R-F A-C-E surface space finish I-N-I-S-H space 6-3. Now this symbol here, I'm going to go ahead and end this text here. I'm going to just select this right here. We're going to have to add that symbol, okay? Now, when I do one of these recordings, I can't show you that, so I took a picture, a screenshot. I'm going to insert that now. This is what the character map is going to look like when you insert into your drawing, or when you're using it. So while you're in the text box, you're going to have an option. Let me show you that option, where you have symbol. When you click symbol, you get little symbols you can add into the drawing. The one we're going to add is going to be in other. Now you're not seeing my box, but in here, you're going to make sure you click Arial as the type of font. And then there's the symbol right here. Click it, and then copy it. Then you'll close this, and you'll paste it here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. So enter the text box. I'm going to go ahead and do other. Change this to Arial. Select the symbol. Make sure to click select once you've selected it and it got larger. Then use copy. Exit the little menu. And then in the text, You could right click and use paste, and that adds the symbol. You can backspace once, space bar, to continue typing in the rest of the information we need here. I'm going to click outside the text box, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this so it's not in the way. Okay, double click on this, click where I want it. So it's IN space IN area oops, A space IN D IC A T E D. All right, and I'm going to click away from that. Now I can go ahead and adjust these triangles to make it look nicer. Maybe I might want to even line these up. So I'm going to draw a line from here straight down. I can highlight the 4 and move it so the tip is perpendicular with that line. Now I'll get rid of this. All right, it's looking good. Now, you won't have this. Let's see, I'm going to take a look real quick, make sure I got everything I need. Got the holes, got the through, got the text, got the arrows, got the angle. I did not make it 2 times. Let's go ahead and make that 2 times real quick. So escape. Select the text twice. And then 2x space. Click away from that. All right, good. And I'm going to get rid of this. Delete. Now I can hit the center scroll button like you can and zoom to the extent of the drawing. In my layout, I do the same thing. Select inside the viewport, hit the center scroll button twice. That goes to the extent of the drawing. Centers it best it can. And then I'm going to go to my scale and choose 1:1. And that sets everything up nice and neat. Click outside the viewport. No, I'm going to turn off the grid so you can see it. Hopefully it's good enough. Did I make all my line weights good? Let's take a look at my model again. Yes, got all my good line weights. Correct line types. So boom, boom, boom. We got everything all set up here. Let's make sure we save our drawing. Now that we're all saved up, go ahead and put your sheet 1/1, project, put the project name in, scale the drawing, drawn by, and the date. Once you're done with that, save it again. And then we'll go to the A and print, continue single sheet. If you use the correct template, you'll see drawing to PDF. You'll see monochrome. Go to preview. Once you see everything here looks good, we'll use the select button here. And then you'll click the OK button. Once you press the OK button, you'll be ready to print. Make sure to save the PDF in the location where you keep all your other PDFs for the chapters. And then you will submit them according to the instructions given by Mr. Rodriguez. This has been your 10.12 tutorial, and I'll see you in the classroom. Bye-bye.